Like nobody else. The city's got more stuff than what we do. Loudon City's got a bunch, but we don't vote Loudon City. Yeah, you're on the ballot too. Do you realize that? Me and you's on the ballot in August. We're unopposed because we wanted names, but our names are on the ballot.
All the ones in the primary are in the general.
Yeah, you gotta go vote for yourself for sure. 4 years ago,
Get your calendar out, let's put it in the calendar.
4 years ago, I had a Democrat.
So Dan's doing
I had
that.
to run. And fortunately, no. No, I don't, what, we're on the ballot, but I got nobody running, you're on the ballot, I got nobody running against us. So you win if you get one vote. So you better go vote, make sure you vote. Absolutely you will. Early voting starts July 15th.
Hugh, how you doing?
Good, thanks.
Oh yeah, you voted every office. You never missed a vote.
I thought I saw Kelly.
Oh yeah.
Whatever you're doing.
Okay.
Hey Tinker, don't leave before we get done.
You need some money?
Tracy, ready?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna call the Loudoun County Commission budget adoption meeting to order for Monday, June 27, 2022. Nobody signed the sheet to speak at the public comments for the budget adoption, so I get to turn it over to Tracy Blair, who will take us through the budget, and hopefully we'll adopt it at the end.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Cullen. The first three items on the agenda are related to the budget and the tax rate for fiscal year 22-23. Commissioners have all received a copy of the proposed budget detailed notebook and all three resolutions. These have also been posted online on the county's website for several weeks. After the notebooks were distributed to you, after the public hearing that was held for the general public on the budget, the Budget Committee met again last week, and all of the resolutions that you have, everything that you have is the Budget Committee's recommendation. One of the things that you have is a statement of proposed operations by fund. It is a one-page document. It's toward the front of your book. It never ceases to amaze me that all that work can be reduced to one page, but it can. This summarizes the entire budget proposal. It includes estimated beginning fund balances, ending fund balances, revenues and expense budgets for next year. It even includes the property tax rate over to the right. So as we proceed this evening, if you want to follow along on this one single document, you can. Or you might decide to follow along with each individual resolution. The county legislative body has the authority to approve, has the obligation really to approve appropriations for all county budgets. Your authority is limited in two different funds, that's the highway department and general purpose school. Your responsibility in these funds is limited to the provision of local revenue. There are minimum requirements in these local revenues. It's what the Budget Committee loves, and that is maintenance of effort. The proposed budgets before you this evening meet the maintenance of effort in both those funds. As a matter of fact, it exceeds what the minimum requirements are. So the first resolution is the Appropriations Resolution. And that item is consideration of recommendation to approve a resolution making appropriations for the various funds, departments, institutions, offices, and agencies of Loudoun County for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2022 and ending June 30th, 2023. This appropriations resolution will establish appropriations by major category in each fund for the next fiscal year. It outlines the recommended expense budgets at the function or the departmental level. It's summarized on your statement of proposed operations by fund in the columns entitled proposed expenditures as well as transfers out. The entire budget, the detail for the budget with the revenue estimates, is referenced as an attachment to this resolution. That's in section 4 of the Appropriations Resolution. So this is the recommendation to you this evening for consideration. The Budget Committee recommends approval.
Make a motion, we approve.
Okay, we have a motion to approve item A by Commissioner Satterfield. Do we have a second?
Second.
We got a second by Commissioner Waller.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Mr. Whitfield, would you like to go first, or would you like me to go first?
Go, Mary Glenn.
According to Ms. Blair, she just handed me this at the last moment tonight. We have discussed, and will later on in the night, in the next meeting, we'll be discussing about the addition on the back of the county building to put the, to expand the election commission office. We need to put in this 2022 budget, an amendment to say that the money to pay for that will come from 171, that's capital projects. Is that correct, Ms. Blair?
That is correct.
So I'm gonna put in form of a motion to amend the budget by adding the cost of the addition to the back of the county building to be paid for upon Ms. Blair's advice from Fund 171.
I'll second your motion.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Shaver, seconded by Commissioner Whitfield.
But we don't know the amount of what
No,
that
no, I-
addition
no.
is going to be.
We've not even done anything yet.
Right.
She says it has to be in tonight.
We need an appropriation for expenses that are related to initial costs. It could be architecture and engineering, but at this point, without an appropriation on July 1st, nothing can be spent until this body approves it. If it's not done this evening, it can be done in August as an amendment to this budget.
We need a specific number.
We need a
to
number.
start with.
We do need a number.
Pick a number.
I'm okay.
You were the one who made me do it.
I don't think we've approved things without a number. I would
Okay.
not be.
200,000 would be a good start.
$200,000 then.
I was gonna say 250.
We can come back and amend it later. I hope it's not nearly that much is what I'm hoping. Do what?
You're gonna have to come back to it then.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Did she not say you could come back in August? And
Yeah, but we can't do anything. It would be till August before we can do something. We'd like to get started Tuesday is the meeting. So $200,000 is the number.
Okay, and to come from 171.
Correct.
Okay,
And just for, just to remind commission, there's a sub-fund that there have been no expenditures out of in general capital projects. And, this $200,000 approved for this purpose will only be spent for this purpose. So if there are any unspent funds, it will have to come back to commission for appropriation.
fair enough.
Is there $200,000 in that account?
$497,000.
We got more than enough to cover it. We got a motion and a second. Any further discussion to appropriate the funds from 171 to go to the addition?
No. Do I need to do mine now?
No, we need to vote on mine, then yours.
Then yours. Okay. No further discussion, call the roll.
Brewster,
Aye.
Mears, Hurley. Aye. Tinker.
Aye.
Satterfield.
Aye.
Whitfield,
Yes.
Cullen,
Yes.
Duff,
Yes.
Shaver,
Aye.
Waller.
Aye.
Okay, that motion passed.
So, Mr. Chairman, I need to amend this consideration for, to come out of Fund 171 for $10,000 to complete the electoral voting precinct in the far end of the county.
The what?
Electoral
Electoral
voting
voting
precinct.
Oh, voting precinct,
Yes, sir.
okay.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Whitfield.
I'll second Mr. Whitfield's, motion.
Seconded by Commissioner Shaver. Any further discussion? Okay, Tammy, call the roll.
Hurley. Aye. Tinker,
Aye.
Satterfield,
Aye.
Whitfield,
Aye.
Cullen,
Aye.
Duff,
Aye.
Shaver,
Aye.
Waller,
Aye.
Brewster.
You got an eye
Did
out.
you get it mowed yet?
Huh?
Did you get it mowed yet?
Nope.
Brewster.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Now do we go back and,
The big one.
okay, we got a motion and a second. Okay, the motion was made by
Satterfield.
Satterfield, seconded by
Waller?
Commissioner Waller.
Yes, sir.
I have something I would like to ask about. In this budget, I know that we did longevity raises in here. There is some misunderstanding with some employees in the county that in this, budget adoption tonight, that there are supposed to be, bonuses given. And I wanna make sure that we get it on the record, there are no bonuses included in this budget, it's only the longevity raises.
Bonuses are coming from ARPA funds,
ARPA funds.
so it's separate money, we'll have to prove it separately.
Yes,
Yes,
but,
that's already been discussed.
The same as our promised raises for teachers.
well, it's not been discussed with employees, cause I've had a lot of phone calls, so that's what I'm making
Take it up
sure.
with your mayor over there, he all told
I'm
everybody.
making sure that we get it on record that, cause I've had a couple of phone calls from people saying, are we gonna get our bonus in July?
August, or November.
November, first December.
Take it up, buddy, that one's yours.
It coming out of the ARPA funding, if that really pertains to this budget in specific, I don't think there's any way that there would be 6 votes to not do it with the success we've had lately as a county, and especially this even coming out of the ARPA funding itself. The ARPA, what's the proper term, Tracy? Premium pay, will mirror the, raises that were given, with the exception that there was several employees that got a huge increase with the $16 an hour. This will mirror, but everybody, all of our county employees will be eligible and will receive the ARPA premium pay. We're looking at probably, I would imagine, end of November, 1st of December.
That was your pick.
That was it.
If we need to look for November, we can. We'll live or die on.
Any further discussion? Tammy, call the roll.
Hurley. Yes. Tinker.
Aye.
Satterfield.
Aye.
Whitfield.
Yes.
Cullen.
Aye.
Duff.
Yes.
Shaver.
Aye.
Waller.
Aye.
Brewster.
Aye.
Okay. Item I passes, Tracy.
Thank you, sir. The next item on the agenda is related to establishing the tax rate for the next year. Consideration of recommendation to approve a resolution fixing the tax levy in Loudoun County for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2022.
Make a motion, we approve the
Second.
suggested.
Okay, we got a motion from Commissioner Satterfield, seconded by Commissioner Shaver, to approve the tax levy.
The number.
$1.52. Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I'm tickled to say that our tax rate is $1.52, which now makes us, unfortunately, the second lowest in the state of Tennessee. We have been the lowest, but Sevier County has now beat us out by about 4 pennies. So we have a goal to shoot for now, to get back to number 1.
Well,
That's,
Maine County's coming up on their reassessment next year.
That'll do it. So that's, it's quite impressive for our county and what we've done to be able to keep our tax rate that low and still accomplish everything we've done. So I'm tickled to death to vote for this one.
Okay, any further comments? Okay, we got a motion and a second. Call the roll, Tammy. Yeses to approve it.
Tinker.
Aye.
Satterfield.
Aye.
Whitfield.
Yes.
Cullen.
Yes.
Duff.
Aye.
Shaver.
Aye.
Waller.
Aye.
Brewster.
Aye.
Hurley.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And the last resolution associated with next year's budget is the nonprofit organization resolution. The Budget Committee recommends appropriations to nonprofit organizations, and the total is $1,272,960.
Make a motion, we approve the
Second.
recommendation for nonprofit.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Satterfield, seconded by Commissioner Shaver, to approve the non-profit appropriation. Any further discussion? Tammy, call the roll.
Satterfield.
Aye.
Whitfield.
Yes.
Cullen.
Yes.
Duff.
Aye.
Shaver.
Aye.
Waller.
Aye.
Hurley. Brewster, I'm sorry.
Aye.
Hurley,
Aye.
Tinker.
Aye.
Sorry, Kelly.
That's okay.
I was crossing out
Motion
the-
carries.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Anything else, Tracy?
That's all, sir, thank you very much.
Okay, budget is adopted. 22-23 is in the records. For those in the room, we have not increased your taxes in 8 years. Okay, I'll call for an adjournment.
We done did.
Okay. Now I'll open the Loudoun County Commission meeting for Monday, June 27th. I've asked Commissioner Shaver to open the meeting with a pledge and a prayer.
Will please stand for pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let us pray quickly. Thank you, Lord, for letting us come together again tonight and for another day of all of us here that are above ground. It's been a good day for that, for sure. We want you to ask you to just be with all of us. We still have a lot of business to do here. Give us some sense to do what we need to do and represent our folks like we need to. Can't hardly let this one go. It's great to live in a country where we have a constitution, we have the courts, we have everything that keeps this America online, and that we've seen the sanctity of life held up this week. That's a biggie. All these other things going on in the world, we can't handle it. You can, so you take it the way it needs to be. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Tammy, call the roll.
Brewster,
Aye.
Hurley,
Present.
Tinker.
Here.
Satterfield,
Here.
Whitfield,
Whitfield.
Yes.
Cullen,
Here.
Duff,
Here.
Shaver,
Yeah.
Waller.
Okay. Okay. Next up is the adoption of the June 27th County Commission agenda. I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as written, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Shaver. Do we have a second?
I'll second the motion.
By Commissioner Satterfield. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next up is the reading and acceptance of the June 1st, 2022 special call meeting minutes and June 6th commission meeting minutes.
Make a motion to approve both sets of minutes, Mr. Chairman, even though they were a little late getting to us. We'll
We
let that go.
apologize, but take a look at the packet. We killed a lot of trees. We got a motion. Do I have a second?
second.
Very good. Mr. Duff, second.
Mr. Duff, Commissioner Duff seconds it. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Public comments, Blake Shelton, step to the podium and tell us what's on your mind.
Henry, will you add me to that list, please? I was late getting in. Thank you.
Good evening. It's good to be back before the commission to talk about the Ava Data facility on Hickory Creek Road. This week, I've spoken with the management team at our parent company, Grid Infrastructure, and I'd like to extend an offer on their behalf to provide an overview on both our operations as well as the economics and technology behind Bitcoin. As you look to make decisions that impact our community on this topic, there's a lot of bad information concerning our industry, and we'd be happy to share our expertise as the Planning Commission begins to explore how Bitcoin mining and blockchain technology might help Loudoun County. We want to be a friendly and productive neighbor for years to come. Bitcoin and the use of blockchain are important technologies for the future of America and the world, and it's important that our industry be represented by an American company like ours. Thank you again for your time, and I look forward to your questions.
Thank you. Rich Eklund.
Commissioners, my favorite subject, Loudoun County Solid Waste Commission. On June 24th, you all got a email with a 46-page document, which is the first time that we've seen that document. Prior to that date, you got a 10-page document. Now, some of the items that were in the 46-page document are not inclusive of what was in the 10-page document. If you give me a second, I'll tell you the exact pages. There's a phrase that you all heard multiple times. And it says that Santec Republic would result in expenditures of up to 13.1 million. What I find interesting is on page 25 and 26, which is the financial assurance in that document, that paragraph is struck. Why? What happened to it? Was it because it wasn't really true? Was it because they never decided whose money we were gonna spend? Or was it because of the questions that we've asked? A couple other small items, page 44. It says who will be copied and signature levels. And on page 41, copy from Montgomery Finley. And the lawyer is Bud Gilbert. He hadn't been there for a long time. Page 44, copy to the chair. Kelly, you're no longer the chair, Steve still is. Kind of, just the kind of stuff that I find revolting. If I did this at Ford, I would have got fired. You have to proofread the documents you're putting out. This also says that Samtec Environmental President, Edward A. Keller, is going to sign. That man hasn't been on any one of the meetings since a year, 2 years. I can't recall him ever showing up. And when we asked for reopening the negotiations, went to 2 people, Clausen and Hollingshead. Their names are listed on Republic, not Santec. So who are we dealing with? We dealing with Santec? We dealing with Republic? Or both? Probably a little bit of both. But I find it interesting that for 6 months, we were looking at a 10-page document. We got a cheat sheet of multiple things on there. I've asked multiple times, how are you going to fold this 10-page document into the 46-page document? Well, lo and behold, the 24th of June, it appeared. Why so late? And we're gonna vote on it next month, with the Solid Waste Commission. You haven't even had a chance to read it. And the way it was presented in the 10 pages versus the way it reads in the 46 pages is completely different. Intent might be there, but the language isn't. And for 6 months, I heard nothing about raising issues that were associated with wordsmithing the original document, the 10 pages. Now we get it supposedly ready to go. Took it before you, took it before Loudon, took it before Lenore City. And all of a sudden, you got a 46-page document, not a 10-page document. This is something bad. You know my feeling. I would approve that damn thing if it was the last document on earth. Thank you.
Thank you, Rich. Lynn Greer.
Hi, I missed you all.
Welcome back.
Lynn Greer, Philadelphia. It's been so long since I've been here that Buddy and Tracy have changed sides of the room.
I figure if I come in shooting, we're gonna go after Van first, so we should.
I think you're right. Is that better? Okay, good. All right. The Santec Republic issue. At the meeting, I asked the biggest opponent what her solution was, and she didn't have one. So I've got two. One is go on ahead and vote for it after 8 years of fooling around, or stand up, resign, throw it back in your all's lap, and let you explain to the people who voted you in why we'll be paying the $13 million to shut it down. Simple as pie. Also, they don't want to negotiate with us. You worked for Ford for forever, right, Henry? When you only have one person standing in line to do business with you, do you keep on and keep on and keep on alienating them, calling them crooks, calling them criminals, and expect them to stand there and negotiate with you? No. So that's the position that our solid waste commission is in. It's a really bad position. So what I came here for was the Tellico Village POA grant request. And I mainly have questions. Why are they asking us to sign the grant with them instead of asking LUB to sign it with them? Because that's the equipment that they're gonna be upgrading the tie-in with.
That's an easy question. TDEC, and I've spent hours on the phone last week. TDEC set this grant up. They allocated so much funds to the county.
Okay.
It's gonna be done on a scoring system based on the need that they're gonna do. So they'll allocate the money. POA, under TDEC's rules, qualify to file through the county. Bill Coley, the attorney who did the indemnification agreement, has worked it all out. It's no different than what's going on in Knox County. The same attorney is working with KUB and Knox County. It has to go through the county.
It
That
has
is
to
how-
go through the county, it can't go through the utilities.
No, because like Loudon Utilities,
Uh-huh.
that's filed for the exact same grant.
Right,
So if they try to go through Loudon Utilities, it would get all jumbled. So they're filing for a grant, LCUB's filing for the same grant, POA's filing for the grant, and then TDEC decides who
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 gets
gets
what.
it, but we have to sign with TVPOA so that they can actually apply for
So
the
they
grant.
can just apply for the
And it
grant.
is a different grant than the one that you've got that you're supposed to be handing out to our different utilities, right?
What do you mean?
The county's got grant money to dole out, correct?
This is entirely different.
It's entirely different.
It's
Okay.
entirely different.
Right, just making sure I was
And
correct.
LUB and Loudon City got funds too.
Okay.
All right?
It says in this agreement related to the State of Tennessee Water Infrastructure Grant Program, can accept co-funding. Just,
That's gonna be a match, and the TVPOA is responsible for the
but
match.
we're not matching them.
We're not. We have no authority to give the funds. All it is a pass-through.
So Tracy's gonna have to dole them out.
Tracy will have to manage the paper along with the other grants. This is entirely
Right.
different than any grant we've ever done.
Which is why I've got questions.
I'm sure.
Right. Well, that is fair enough, right? So Tracy's in charge of doling this grant money out?
Well, it'll go to TDEC. They'll approve what they did or they don't approve it.
Right.
If they approve it, it'll come back through Tracy and she'll give it to the POA.
Right,
That's
that
how
was
it
the
works.
question. She doesn't have to give it out in draws. She just says, all right, here's some money, take it and go, and she's out.
Less whatever the match is.
And POA has to do the match part.
But have you read what it says in the TDEC Waters requirements? It says TDEC has proposed a 20 to 40% co-funding requirement to receive dollars under this offering. A county's total available budget is their TDEC's allocation plus local co-funding.
The POA.
It'll
And
be
that
way more than
agreement's-
30%.
What's that?
It'll be way more than
It
30%.
says 20 to 40% on here too.
It depends on the score for the project, as I understand it.
But does that not leave us, if they don't come up with funds, does that not leave us?
They're spending
Paying
$10 million.
There's been,
I mean, they're gonna be paying 500% of the match. 800% of the match.
They're not spending $10 million at first.
Their whole project, I think these are all rolled
I
into
think
one
the
big
whole
project.
project is 11 million,
We're not
but they're
gonna be paying
supposing,
anything.
we're not paying anything.
What does Loudon Utilities say about it? The way I understand it, Loudon Utilities has already got sewer problems.
And they have money out there applying through TDEC for it. Through.
So basically, we don't care at all what Loudon says about it, even though they're the ones that process the sewage, and you're gonna build a whole tank and just hang out and wait. And when I say you, I mean Telco Village. I'm sorry, you represent Telco Village. That's the bottom line?
Ty Ross was here, they have funds.
Right.
He's gonna fill it out with Jeff Harris or whoever.
I'm not worried about their funds, I'm worried about logistics and working together.
Well, they will work with LUB, but Jacobs Engineering is handling it for the POA. Am I right or wrong, Mitzi?
Do you understand what I'm asking?
Me?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, we are working closely with Mr. Davis and Larry Joe with LUB on this project.
Alright, so yes, you all have discussed it with them,
Yes.
they're gonna be with you all and figure out how this is gonna work, as you're not working as a
Absolutely.
separate entity.
We are working with them, we are in communication with them every week, especially during rain events, because this tank
Right.
is gonna benefit LUB as much as it's gonna do Telco.
Well,
Village.
that's the hope, and that's just what I was wanting, you don't have to explain the whole
Yeah.
thing to me, for really a yes or no
Yes.
answer. Are you working closely
Yes,
with them,
ma'am, yes, ma'am,
with the tie-in, and everybody's on the same
Yes,
page
ma'am.
and working together?
yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, Lynn.
Thank you,
I
Henry.
do have a question. Where is this holding tank going to be located?
Should be on their grounds by the yacht club.
Yes, ma'am, it will be at our main lift station right off of Sequoia Road and Highway 444.
Okay.
At our main lift station, that's where we pump everything to LUB. So that way we can put that tank there, pump everything into it. If LUB's having problems, we can just hold it instead of sending it to them and compounding their issues.
So it's a benefit to LUB. Okay, just to clarify a few things, I think most of the things I'm gonna cover in the next section is that one, it's only a grant application. TDEC is gonna use a scoring system now. That's gonna get complicated, but they'll determine how much they're gonna give. Well, TAS is applied, TVPOA, they'll make the determination. We don't do that.
Well, Henry, that TDEC, I mean, we're not, there's nobody, just because you apply doesn't mean you're gonna get $1.
That's true.
And of course, and to per county policy, we have to vote to accept it if it is granted.
Okay,
So
All right.
This is just everybody asking for the money. And
That's
TDEC
it.
will come up with it.
and I'll tell you, Bill Coley has been a big help. Talking to him, he's been through this before, he's doing it down in Knoxville for KUB. And he said they can absolutely apply for it, it has to go through the county the same as KUB going through Knox County, so. It's new to me, I thought it was different, because all the grants we get, you get the amount, you get a match or no match, we love the no match. But anyway, can I get a motion to approve TVPOA applying for the
Make a
grant?
motion to approve.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Satterfield. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we got a second by Commissioner Waller. Any further discussion?
Mr. Chairman, you remember the 1st of June when this first came up, we all had a lot of questions. Henry went back and he said, let me find out, let me get this, let me get that. I myself have read everything I can find on TDEC's website about it. They have a pretty comprehensive thing. I read what Henry sent us. We don't know if TDEC will give any of them any money. Loudon, Littlemore City, TAS, we don't know if they give it or not. All we're doing is giving permission for them to ask for the money. It may be gone by now for all I know, I don't know, but I don't have a bit of heartburn with this one.
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay, since it's no money, it's just a grant application. All in favor of letting them go for the grant, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
No.
Okay, we got 2 noes. Motion carries. Be 7-2. All right. Mitzi and Clayton, start doing the paperwork. If you need me, you know where I live. Give me a call, I'll come by and help you out. Okay, Commissioner Satterfield.
Oh, we got Susan Huston.
You got number 7.
Oh, I'm sorry. Come on, Susan.
Come on down.
Come on down, Price is Right.
If I win the lottery, I won't be here next time. Request approval to increase the bid threshold to $50,000 for the sealed bid process.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Brewster, seconded by Commissioner Waller. Any further discussion?
That does include 3 written quotes for 15 at $250.
Include
All right,
that.
there's money involved. Any further discussion?
I think this will make it easier for you, Susan.
Call the roll.
Hurley.
Yes.
Tinker.
Yes.
Satterfield.
Yes.
Whitfield.
Yes.
Cullen.
Yes.
Jeff.
Yes.
Shaver.
Yes.
Waller.
Aye.
Brewster.
Yes.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Susan.
Okay. Now, Commissioner Satterfield.
Following through on recommendation, or not recommend, from the zoning commission's request to do away with, not to offer PUDs anymore as far as building zoning and so forth. And I make a motion that the Loudoun County Commission approve the elimination of PUDs as per the zoning commission's
Mr.
response.
Chairman, I'll second that.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Satterfield, seconded by Commissioner Shaver. If I remember right, it was 9-2 at the planning and zoning.
Yes.
Okay, any further discussion?
Is there any type of long-range growth plan put in place for that, for the PUD development? Because once you cut them off, you cut them off.
I know Jack Claus is working on a plan,
So the
some
answer's no.
3-star grant or something he's already started meetings with.
So the answer is no right now.
No, they're in the middle of it, like they started it.
Mr. Chairman, just for point of clarification, what this does, this makes R1 our top residential zoning classification with setbacks, and this should include all residential development, whether it's single family, multifamily, duplexes, everything should be at the 2 units per acre or 20,000 square feet minimum lots.
So we're eliminating 2.5 to 2.
Correct.
Okay.
2.5 for 75 acres.
Any further discussion? Tammy, call a roll on this one.
Hurley.
No.
Tinker.
No.
Satterfield.
Yes.
Whitfield.
Yes.
Cullen.
Yes.
Jeff.
Yes.
Shaver.
Yes.
Waller.
Yes.
Brewster.
No.
6-3, motion carries. Okay. Commissioner Shaver, you're up.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I've got 3 different things here. The first one is the Bitcoin mining moratorium. Spoke to Jim Jenkins just earlier. The only thing that we're saying here doesn't affect the current operation up there. That's a separate item altogether. But we know the lawsuits in Washington County. We know the issues other places. And to say there's no more Bitcoin or blockchain operations until the Planning Commission studies it, where they should be located, where they shouldn't, if it should be in the industrial areas instead of just C2 type areas. They do come with some negative aspects, and I would say just make it like, I asked Jim, can you get it done in 6 months or less? He said, absolutely, they'll take it up at the workshop at their next planning commission meeting, so that's what I'm asking for. Till they come back with a recommendation. And they may come back and say, it's fine, Danny, where it's at.
Okay, do
Are
we
you
have,
making- Can I clarify are you making a motion or?
Yes, that's a formal motion.
Is the 6 months part of it? That was the only thing
6 months or
What a
less.
timeframe.
Yeah, 6 months or less. Jim thinks they
so
can do
it's
it
just
quicker.
not, forever?
That's right.
so it's gonna be a 6-month moratorium on Bitcoin mining operations?
At the most, yeah.
Or
Yes.
less. If
Or
they-
less.
Yeah.
Okay,
And it does not affect our current
It
situation.
does not affect them whatsoever.
they're there. Okay, I got a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Okay, got a Commissioner Whitfield seconded. Any further discussion? Call the roll on this one, Tammy.
Tinker,
Yes.
Satterfield,
Yes.
Whitfield,
Yes.
Cullen,
Yes.
Duff,
Yes.
Shaver,
Yes.
Waller,
Aye.
Brewster, Hurley.
No.
8-1.
8-1, motion carries.
All right, the next one, Mr. Chairman, is the ad hoc committee and now the funding, as we've handled that in the budget part, but to set up the ad hoc committee, consisting of, Susan Harrison, John Goddard, Brian Brown, and myself for the addition to the back of the county building for the election commission, agriculture extension office.
Make a motion to approve.
Got a motion by Commissioner Whitfield to approve, seconded by
Satterfield.
Commissioner Satterfield. Okay. Any further discussion?
Commissioner, are y'all gonna meet with the architects Tuesday when the when the library expansion meet?
That's on July 5th.
Gonna be the same meeting, or y'all gonna meet them after? or-
Ask the chairman or the vice chairman back there of the committee, I don't know.
I suggested that they come so that they can just do it all at one time, instead of trying to schedule 2 meetings, but I hadn't got that approved by the other committee yet, but if y'all don't mind them showing up about that time.
Save everybody a trip, I'm fine with it.
That is
I'm just
July the
curious.
5th, right?
Pardon?
July the 5th?
Yes,
10:30.
there should be an
Donuts and coffee. Donuts and coffee. Okay. Any further discussion? Okay, we'll do this voice vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Okay, we got 1 no.
All right, Mr. Chairman, here's my last one, probably the most controversial thing I've got going. What was it, June 1st, we was here about 2 hours discussing the Solid Waste Commission issue, the extension contract. Then I didn't attend, but I watched the entire meeting on whenever the last one was. It's obvious that the Solid Waste Commission is determined they're going to pass this contract extension, regardless of what any of us feel about it. In fact, there was a motion put on the floor that night to pass it that night, and fortunately, the attorney said, no, you can't do that tonight, so it was postponed to a possible special call later on. I think July the 14th is when they're planning to meet. It's a horrible extension. Since 2007, we've heard nothing from everybody. Everybody's in agreement that the contract we're in now is awful. And I'm confident that the attorney at the time carefully coached and helped them go through the process of adopting that horrible contract in 2007. I did get the red line contract. It took a while, but I did get it. And it makes it even worse than when we didn't have the red line contract. As Richard was talking about earlier, there's so many just little faux pas in all of that. I don't know how you all could have confidence in anything you're doing with it. So I guess my question, I don't know if it's a question, it comes down to we either sign a bad extension or we stay in a bad contract. We have 2 options. The current contract expires in 2027. Right now, the stakeholders are paying more. We're spending more money to take our trash into the landfill that we own. We own the entire thing. We spend more money taking trash to the landfill then whomever we're dealing with, we don't even know, apparently Santec or Republic pays back to the Solid Waste Commission. There's a problem. There's something wrong just in that one little bitty aspect of it. And I don't want to go crazy with this stuff, but somebody's going to have to live with a contract extension for another 10 or 12 or 15 years. It's kind of variable how long that contract's going to last. Santec was a kind of a fun outfit to operate with. I worked with them for many years with Cheryl Dunson and the different ones. It was real good. This is a different animal we're dealing with now. It's a big outfit. And obviously the Solid Waste Commission is an independent body and can do whatever they want to do, regardless of what any of us think. And that in itself is a little scary. That was an interlocal agreement written up by Harvey Sproul 25 years ago. I don't think there's any point in asking, I guess you're the only one here, if there's any way this can be stopped.
I mean, we did what you asked. We've done what you've asked. We asked about renegotiating. There's no renegotiating. This is it. We either accept it or we don't accept it.
And that in itself is a little scary.
We've taken into consideration Lenore City, Loudon. You're talking about tipping fees and what we pay. Well, right now, yeah, we do pay more. But with the extension, we become the lowest, even within their own company.
In the
And it's
extension,
Republic
in the
Santec.
extension, we lose more money than we're losing now. We get a tiny little percent increase in what we're getting, but the tipping fee goes up. If you do the
But the
math,
tipping fee does not go up on you, and how do you make money in a landfill?
we
The
still
tipping-
lose money. Right now, we're at 91% and 9%.
It just, it amazes me that I have been on that solid waste for 8 years. And I have worked very diligently on understanding everything there is to know about landfill. I've understood, I've taught to TDEC, we've gone through regulations, and in 3 months, you have gone from a whole change in attitude from Kelly will go with what you think, Kelly will go with what you think, Kelly, you know what's going on, to all of a sudden, in 3 months, you know more about the whole landfill and everything there is to know about it. It just amazes me.
Except you were going in an entirely different direction. That's when I said, I agree with you. When the contract had been breached, I agree with you, we need to hammer him for that. When we're going to get out of this contract, I agreed with you. Not when you came back around and said, oh no, we won't extend this contract another X number of years. I have never said I agreed with that. So
You said you agreed with what I came up with. You said you would agree to that. It just seems like that I've spent 8 years going, learning, and trying to explain, and trying to do due diligence on that committee. And then all of a sudden in 3 months, and I think this underlies with a bunch of other stuff, but in 3 months, there's been a total turnaround of, I know more, we know more, this is a bad contract, we can't do this, and I have done everything you asked. You wanted the 13 million off of your all's back. It's off. It'll be off with the extension. You wanted to be the lowest tipping fees. We went back and negotiated again, got the lowest tipping fees. Everything that this commission, Loudon City and Lenore City has asked, we have gone back and done. We got the road fixed. Okay? We've negotiated. I mean, I don't see that we can do any more than what you all have asked us to do. They're not gonna negotiate anymore, so if you wanna stay in it, I'll take what you say and I'll go back and tell Solid Waste Commission that. Loudon City has another viewpoint, and Lenore City has another.
Lenore City's concern is that their number one contractor gets a good deal, and Loudon City's concern is it's not too high and they can see it from Tennessee National. We know what their two concerns are.
And the tipping fees.
My concern
But
the
it
entire
gives us-
time has been, is this what's best for Loudoun County? And you can't slice this one any direction and make it best for Loudoun County. I don't know how.
How do you fix it?
We get more money out of our
How
landfill.
do we fix it?
You tell them we're through negotiating with them. If we can't
They're
get more
told
money,
us they're through negotiating. So how do you fix it from there?
if they don't
Because
want,
you've got 2 years to write a letter to TDEC and to them to tell them goodbye.
3 years. We got
Well,
5 more years on
by the time
contract.
you get all this done,
Within
it'll
2
be
years,
2
we're sending a letter saying, hey, we're ready to put it out for bid. If y'all want bids, you get in line. I mean, that's how that
Get
goes.
in line.
And I'm confident that Mr.
Stephen
Stevens,
Husky, how many did we have in line? 1, right? When we put it out for bid last time?
I was not involved in the last
Okay,
process.
sorry, Susan.
I was here, Waste Connections sat right here, and then when Santec nearly got in a fist fight. I remember that one well.
Mhm.
But neither here nor there.
And they're 1, and we're
Ca-
dealing with the number.
If
1 or 2.
Kevin Stevens went back and said to them, we're not gonna do the extension unless y'all agree to renegotiate our cut of the money. I don't imagine that's how Kevin took it. I don't know how he did. We first of all didn't have a written reply, then we did get a written reply.
That's because you asked for a written reply.
I didn't.
Well,
We were just told he got a verbal reply was all he got.
well, it was on quick notice too, that you all wanted a reply.
Is there nothing that would change the vote of the 14th?
I can't speak for everybody else. I don't know how everybody else is gonna vote. I might feel like I know how somebody's gonna vote.
I think listening to the video, it's pretty obvious how to go. Mr. Chairman, I'm gonna put forth a really wild, out-of-the-box motion here. Way out there.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna make a motion, we vacate all 5 county representatives on the Solid Waste Commission.
I hope you've checked with your attorney on that.
Who was the second?
Me?
So we got a motion and a second. Motion by
I think you
Commissioner
need an
Shaver,
opinion.
seconded by Commissioner
You got an
Satterfield.
opinion from Bob Bowman on it? Let
To
him know.
vacate the Loudoun County members from the Solid Waste Commission.
That's it. Don't want to.
And I asked a question, do you have an opinion from Bob Bowman on you can do that?
No, I don't have an opinion. I don't know
So
why we
you
couldn't.
don't know if you can do that or not?
Have you ever heard of the first removal rule? The power to appoint includes the power to remove. Call
But
them
you're
all.
not the one that appoints.
Call
The
them all.
mayor appoints, you only approve.
It's kinda all the same, isn't it? Let me
No.
add this to it, Mr. Chairman.
No,
If
it's
this
not all
vote
the same.
passes, I would also, ask that we add, Adam, Henry, and Bill Satterfield to the committee.
Oh, I would go for Van Shaver if
Oh,
you're gonna do that.
I'm doing the talking, I don't want to sound like I'm wanting something out
Let
of
them
it.
do it and wash your hands of it.
Can you repeat your motion, please?
The motion is to vacate the 5 county appointed seats and replace those 5 with 3 commissioners, Adam Waller, Bill Satterfield, and Henry Cullen.
Henry Cullen's shaking his head.
Okay. We got a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
But you're going to only appoint 3?
Just temporary, may put them all back on, may put all of you back on there. That makes it a 5-member board.
I say if they screw it up too bad, those members that they're putting on are the ones that are responsible for the 13 million to close down that dump site. Don't say a word, Rich. I don't care.
Put recycling on there too.
Okay.
So Shaver and Satterfield first and second.
Okay.
I think you need an opinion from Bob.
We'll get one.
That's what taxpayer dollars are for, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We got a motion and a second to vacate 5 members from the Loudoun County appointment to the Solid Waste Commission, replaced by 3 commissioners. Any further discussion? Call the roll, Tammy.
Satterfield,
Yes.
Whitfield,
No.
Cullen,
Yes.
Duff,
Yes.
Shaver,
Yes.
Waller,
Aye.
Brewster,
No.
Hurley,
No.
Tinker,
No.
5-5.
5-4.
5-4.
Either way.
Either way, it fails.
So what we just done is everything we could do to stop a disaster. We didn't. We'll have to live with it. So there it is. On record, history, the vote, we tried to stop a huge mistake. So now you can do whatever you want to do.
That's fine.
Okay.
We just want the people of Loudoun County to understand what's been done, and like I said,
I hope they
we've gotten
understand.
information, like I said, this is 8 years, soon be 8 years have been here. I don't recall maybe fewer than 4 or 5 meetings that some solid waste issue hadn't been before us on every month. We got the short course in solid waste. And the thing about it is, nobody that's come and approached the commission about this has ever come in and said, yeah, they're doing a great job, let's keep doing what we're doing. And like I said, like I said, and Kelly said, you know, when Kelly became, yes, we're going to do this and this and this, and then in that short period of time you alluded to, it went, no, we're going to do exactly what they've been doing, and we're going to extend a horrendous. And that's the thing that bothers me, is that everybody says, yes, it's a terrible contract. It is a terrible contract. So, and on top of a terrible contract, we're going to extend it 15 years, and you say nobody wants it. How much money have they made so far, Pat?
Gross
Don't start
revenue,
doing that.
51.5.
Okay. how much were their
51.5 million.
What, does that include?
So if we
your
just stop following Robert's Rules of Order right now, we're just arguing with or we're gonna go back to that, Chairman?
Do whatever we
Again,
want to.
seriously?
Anything we want to do.
We're
I
done.
know, Van, you do whatever you wanna do,
What
but
we're
I don't
doing.
think that that's what we're following here.
You've done what you're
So,
gonna do. Just,
the vote's been
just
done.
Stop it.
And
Let it go.
Didn't pass. Tracy Blair.
Thank you, sir. This part of the agenda for Budget Committee recommendations are related to the current fiscal year 22. The first item is consideration of recommendation to approve application and acceptance of a $25,000 Homeland Security grant for next year, for fiscal year 23. This is a grant that the county receives each year. There are no matching funds. The Budget Committee recommends approval.
Mr. Chairman, make a motion to approve.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Shaver. Do we have a second?
Second.
Got a second by Commissioner Satterfield. Any further discussion? Call the roll, Tammy.
Whitfield,
Yes.
Cullen,
Yes.
Duff,
Yes.
Shaver,
Yes.
Waller,
Aye.
Brewster,
Aye.
Hurley,
Aye.
Tinker,
Aye.
Satterfield.
Aye.
Okay, that passes.
The next item on the agenda is consideration of recommendation to approve amendments in all of the funds that are listed.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion, we approve the amendments on B 1 through 9, discussed at the workshop, discussed at the budget committee, and all recommended.
No second.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Shaver,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Whitfield. Whitfield? Okay. Any further discussion? Call the roll, Tammy.
Cullen,
Yes.
Duff,
Yes.
Shaver,
Yes.
Waller,
Aye.
Brewster,
Aye.
Hurley,
Aye.
Tinker,
Because I'm an employee of the Board of Education, I have a conflict of interest in the proposal about to be voted. However, I declare that my argument, my vote answer only to my conscience and to my obligation to my constituents and the citizens this body represents. I vote aye. No, I would like to say, I did not read my statement on the penny allocations, and so shame is upon me.
Ditto, just ditto it.
Ditto.
Ditto.
My apologies.
Satterfield,
Yes.
Whitfield,
Yes.
Okay, that motion passes.
And summary financial statements for the month of May were distributed prior to the meeting. I need to get the budget committee meeting minutes that were approved signed, and I will distribute them at the next meeting, the May meeting for the budget committee. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Tracy. Okay, David Mears isn't here, so Adam Waller, you can do the bonds and notaries.
Motion to approve, everyone on the list.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Waller, seconded by Commissioner Shaver. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, we got a motion to adjourn and a second by Commissioner Waller. All in favor of adjourning signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay,
That's it.
all right.
Mr. Tinker.
Yep.